Hey everybody, my name is Naeem, and this is probably gonna be my first video on my YouTube channel if I actually decide to put it on YouTube. Maybe on TikTok, I don't know yet. It's just somewhere. I just wanted to celebrate today my 6 months on T. Really grateful to be able to be on testosterone and to be able to celebrate 6 months on T. You know, this journey has been really hard and intense. The last 6 months especially have been really much up and downs. A lot of things happened, not only like in regards to my transition, but just also in life in general. Being on testosterone or being in puberty as someone who is in their 20s is a very interesting experience. Kind of hard experience, you know. I'm having to live in this duality of being a 21-year-old adult while simultaneously going through things a 14-year-old boy goes through. It was not always clear for me to go on T. For me, it was always really important to get top surgery. During my process for top surgery application, I researched more about testosterone and decided then to do it. And it was a hard process here in Germany. You have to go through therapy, evaluations before you can get a prescription for testosterone. I started testosterone, like I said, in April, on the 24th of April. And I first started with gel. My doctor wanted me to get used to taking testosterone and see if I actually like it. I started with one pump for like 5 days, and then I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna take 2 pumps. I'm gonna take the regular dose, and I haven't regretted it since. And yeah, I only took testo gel for the first 6 weeks because I wanted to switch to injections because I couldn't deal properly with the fact that I had to put it on every day. It was too much of a hassle for me personally because my schedule was kind of changing. I do a lot of exercise, so I sweat a lot and I have to shower. When I switched to injection, it was kind of like interesting for me because some of the changes came faster, especially like voice, for example. I've been taking now bi-weekly like an injection. I started with 0.7 milliliter, but then switched to 0.8 milliliter. Injection every 2 weeks was anxiety inducing. Like at the beginning it wasn't, but after a while I got like very anxious about having to poke a needle into myself for every 2 weeks. And also I got swelling on my stomach. I tried it in my butt, but also there I got swelling. So I decided to actually switch to Nibido. Here in Germany it's basically the injections you get only every 3 months. And yesterday was my first time getting the injection. It was a bit sore afterwards. I'm still a bit sore in my butt cheek, but it's easy for me to deal with an injection every 3 months than every 2 weeks. So that's why I decided to switch. But so far my levels, I got tested at 3 months, which was also a bit of an interesting experience because my doctor was not really good. And I also just switched another doctor because I didn't get the care I needed at that doctor. I got my blood taken last month as well because there were some mistakes from the previous doctor, so I got it tested again. My levels are normal. And yesterday, also before switching to a Nibido, I also got it checked out. And so far everything has been okay. Let's see what the next results say. Let's start with like the changes I've seen so far. I've tried to document as much as possible. I have like a transition journal, like a gender journal, where I would write changes with testosterone, but just other stuff as well. And also I take like a Polaroid every 2 weeks, at least for the first. And also I do my T-Voice updates every week or every other week. So far a lot changed, but also not much has changed. I want to start with my mood and my energy, my emotions in general. So at the beginning when I started gel, the first 2 weeks I felt so calm. I think it was just because me starting testosterone was just a huge milestone. After a while I kind of got like leveled out. I started to get more irritated and also more angry. I don't know if it was more than before because I was always a bit irritated and angry. I just have a lot of things I have to deal with in just in general life and also trauma, you know. Like at the beginning, calmness went away after some time. My mood swings are also dependent on my cycle, my period cycle. So when I was still had shark week, I was definitely feeling that before and after. I was very emotional in a sense. But now that I don't have my cycle anymore, I still feel kind of irritated, like this like moody teenager vibes basically. One thing I really noticed is that I have a hard time crying. Like even if I want to cry, I can't cry. Even though I feel like I'm gonna about to cry, the tears never come. My energy has been lower the last 6 months. You know, I hear a lot of people say the energy, they're more energetic on testosterone, they're just running around. But for me, it was the opposite actually. Felt very tired, very sluggish. That was kind of like a hindrance in life, just because I didn't have energy to do anything. I was just in my room, just sleeping, chilling. Especially in the summer. Now it gets better. Maybe it was just the first 6 months, and now it's like getting better and better. But I've also heard from people that, you know, with time it gets better. Besides these things, I haven't seen much difference. And one of the first changes I've experienced actually was I sweat more, and also my body odor kind of changed, and like the smell. I noticed immediately that I was smelling differently. I was smelling more musky. I didn't like that. I'm very sensitive to smell and sweat, especially also like the sensory issues. I have a lot of sensory issues, and having like sweating more was kind of disgusting to me, especially because I do a lot of sports, so it's even more disgusting because then I sweat a lot, and in summer it was very uncomfortable, especially around my chest, sweating. It made me very dysphoric, and so it was a bit uncomfortable. I'm still getting used to it. I mean, now in the winter I'm not sweating as much, so hopefully it was just because of the summers also. The next thing I experienced on testosterone in the last 6 months was obviously body hair and facial hair. Body hair was definitely one of the first things I've noticed, especially on my legs and on my arms. And I never realized how hairless I was pre-T. Or someone, or in my family basically, that didn't really have a lot of body hair. But now on testosterone, I noticed that my hair on my legs as well as on my arms have grown like exponentially. Like the hair on my legs is also getting thicker and darker, and I really like this change. It was one of the first things that made me really euphoric about like tea. Also on my belly, on my stomach, there's also like a happy trail basically growing. I also sometimes put a bit of minoxidil there just to see if it grows more, but it's still very like, it's not that big. It's not like other people, you know. It's still like, I think also for my genetics, it's just like the hair takes a bit longer to grow, especially on other parts of my body. For now, it's more like my arms and my legs. When it comes to facial hair, like the first few months, nothing happened pretty much, like not even a mustache, like because my skin is so dark. Of course, like it's not as visible as someone who's like white. I started doing minoxidil when I was 4 months on T, I think, and so it's been 2 months, and now I've seen a lot of growth because I've been doing it twice a day for like 2 months, and now my mustache is growing, as well as here's hair, and here also the hair. I have a lot of like small hairs, like, you know, these very like small hair, not the thicker hair, but here, especially on my chin, around my chin, the thicker hair is growing, and I'm really excited for that because I want a beard. I want a beard, and that's why I started minoxidil so early, because I wanted to kind of speed it up, like the process. And I always liked the idea when I imagined myself as in my future, I was always imagining myself with a like nice beard. So also one of the other things I also maybe noticed, I don't know if it was placebo or something, but I think my eyebrows got thicker a bit, at least. It was also the first thing I noticed, because I was, like I said, I'm taking like a photo almost every day, so I noticed that eyebrows look thicker. Yeah, that's about it when it comes to hair. The next change I've noticed is definitely my libido growing. Before it was intense. No, it was not really intense, and now it's, of course, with testosterone, it's higher, and I'm trying to manage it and yeah, just deal with it. But it's definitely strange for me. It was definitely something I had to get used to, because it was kind of, yeah, not something I've, you know, expected that much. But in comparison to that, like my hunger, for example, like a lot of people say your hunger on tea is gonna be huge, but personally, I didn't feel like that my hunger changed that much. I got hungry the first 2 months, but it was not because of actually testosterone was because of my period cycle. Because always the week before, the 10 days before, I get very hungry, and since it doesn't happen anymore, thank God, I haven't experienced that hunger level anymore. Sometimes, yeah, there's some like days where I'm more hungry, but in general, yeah, I've gained weight, definitely. I've gained like 4 kilograms, but I'm currently on a cut, so I'm trying to lose that weight. Like I said, also, my period stopped 2 months in, hopefully forever. I don't want this shit to come back ever again, you know, don't come back. But yeah, it's gone now, thankfully. Yeah, there was something that made me very dysphoric before. I mean, some people experience that it comes back, but it hasn't come back yet. But yeah, this is a bit more anecdotally, but I still get sometimes like cramps, and I think it's just during the time where it's supposed to come. Another change I think a lot of people notice, especially in the beginning, is like bottom growth. And for me, it was same. Like the first month grew, like I experienced it a lot, and a bit of discomfort. I still get discomfort, but after like a month or two, it just kind of stopped, and hasn't really been growing that much since then. Okay, the next changes that I've experienced are my voice. My voice, the first 2 months, nothing happened. And then when I switched to injection, I noticed that my voice started dropping. And since then, it has been increasingly dropping and dropping and dropping. And also people around me notice that my voice is deeper. Also, I'm starting to feel like an Adam's apple peeking out here. I think that's also a physical manifestation of my voice getting lower. Yeah, I mean, just like I said, I made T-Voice updates. I'm gonna play them over this clip.
Hallo, mein Name ist Naim und das ist meine Stimme vor Testosteron. Eine Woche auf Testosteron. 1 month on T. 3 weeks on T. 6 weeks on T. 12 weeks on T. 3 months and 2 weeks on T. 4 months and 1 week on T.
5 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Naim, and this is my voice. 6 months on T. But yeah, it's really nice. It's really amazing. But at the same time, it still happens that I get misgendered, even on phone, that people assume me to be a female, which is kind of confusing because everyone I talk to says that I'm really passing, especially with my voice. But you know, yeah, that still happens. Another change that I've experienced is acne. That one is the worst for me. I hate, like I've been always struggling before T with my skin. Not so much in puberty, like, but afterwards, like kind of like from 18 onwards, I started to struggle with my skin. As I'm a black person, I also struggle a lot with like black heads and also hyperpigmentations after the acne has come, you know. I get a lot of like acne scarring and it just gets dark, and that's the part I hate the most, that it just doesn't leave. And I've tried different products for the last few months and years technically as well, but nothing has really worked. Yeah, even on my back acne has also gotten worse. It started to also spread to my shoulders and my neck, my upper neck, and also a bit of my chest, and also a bit on my arms. And yeah, like I said, the acne comes, and when it goes, like hyperpigmentation stays, and especially on my back, it's really bad. So I hope I can get like some help with this. I think I've been gaining muscle. At least that's what people say to me, that I look buffer. I don't see much of a difference, and I don't know if it's only related to testosterone, because the last few months also I've been like really hitting the gym hard. I mean before as well, but now I go like 5 times a week. I really focus on my upper body. I do like two chest and back days and 2 shoulder and arms days. So of course, like I'm getting huge. My strength definitely has increased, and it was also the first thing I noticed, because I've been working on dips, for example, for like over a year. And when I started testosterone, I was still only able to do 3 dips. I mean, I went from being able to do no dips to being 3, so it's still growth. And but still, like when I started T, like after 2 weeks or so, I tried to do dips, and all of a sudden I could do 12. And it was kind of crazy to me, because I was like, where the fuck does this strength come from? But yeah, tea was really helping with that. And even I'm currently in a cut, but I'm still getting stronger. Like I'm still noticing that the new strength is coming. You know, I went from able to do like no dips to being able to do 3, to be able to do 12, to now being able to do weighted dips, and that's for me really huge because yeah, it's one of the goals I've been striving for like 1.5 years. So I'm really proud of that. And also my pull-ups got better from like 2 or 3 to now being able to do 8. I'm really happy about that, and just in general feeling stronger, not so weak. I didn't even notice that I felt so weak before tea, but I felt very weak, and also like body dysmorphia played into it a lot. I still think I'm weak. I still think I'm small, but I'm getting stronger, and yeah, I really appreciate that. I'm like I said, I'm currently in a cut. I have top surgery actually in January, and one thing I've also noticed is that my chest has been deflated a bit more and shrinking, but just minimally. But I've noticed that just that it feels different, and I think cutting and losing a bit of weight, but still getting strong in the gym, and testosterone will help me set me up for the top surgery in January. I think I will be I'm trying to lose like another 8 kilograms, and yeah, to get to a weight where I'm comfortable. It's not something I have to do, but I just feel uncomfortable right now where I'm at. So yeah, that's for top surgery. But this is the only fat distribution I've kind of felt. You know, everything else has been kind of the same. The last thing I want to talk about is my veins. Like I took some pictures fairly in the beginning of tea, and some recent pictures, and I've noticed that my arms, especially my left hand, is getting more and more veiny, and I love it because I always wanted veins. Like as a kid or like in my teenagers, I didn't have any veins, and then with time of working out more, I started to get a bit of veins, you know, but wasn't that noticeable, and I think it's getting more noticeable, and I really like it. I'm still waiting on like veins on my arms, you know, but my arms in general are just like a topic for itself, you know. But yeah, that's it basically. That's my 6 months on tea changes update video. I don't know, I struggled a lot, to be honest, like especially like around month 4, 5, and also like 6, because kind of the changes started to slow down, and it made me kind of dysphoric, because I felt like nothing's happening and I'm still stuck. You know, around month 6, you kind of like see some changes, your voice gets lower, but people still misgender you, still don't recognize you as the way you are, and you also don't really recognize yourself still in the mirror, because there's still like, especially like your body, especially if you're also pre-op, like pre-top surgery, your body doesn't really matches how you see yourself in your head still. And I hope that changes by like being 1 year in T, and especially after top surgery, of course. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited and grateful for the fact that I can look forward to something like that, because a lot of people don't have the opportunity. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where I'm gonna be 1 year on T. Also, one thing is also that like people kind of, even though you're in the middle, yeah, some people still misgender you as female, but some see you as male, and you kind of get expectations that are set on men. You kind of notice that you are being included in that, you know, like people telling you that you're mansplaining, or that you like kind of are too masculine in a sense. I mean, from a lot of queer spaces, I've noticed that, especially like I used to be in a lot of lesbian spaces, but I don't feel comfortable there anymore, because I feel like also there comes like an uncomfortable energy from them. In Germany, we call it Flinter spaces, where everyone but cis men are allowed, but in a way, it's still just a space for women or and feminine presenting people, not really for masculine presenting people. And I've noticed this feeling a bit of isolation, just not knowing where I need to go, where I belong, or where I can stay. But yeah, it's something I will figure out to deal with, I guess. I've been listening also to a lot of books about masculinity, positive masculinities, like just like what it means to be like seen as a man. I mean, also from the trans masculine perspective. I've been reading a lot of books also from trans masculine people, trans men, and how they see, how they see their transition, how they experience it, because this is the first time I'm going through something like that, like going from being seen as one gender to the other. It's just kind of a crazy experience. And so yeah, that's what I also been struggling with, like finding my place and finding like people around me that like support me and cherish my masculinity, cherish me and cherish my transition, and really like support me. And I don't feel like I'm comfortable around because I'm transitioning to be more masculine or to be a man. Yeah, but that's it. I'm gonna do another video 1 year on T. But yeah, thank you for listening. I know I ramble too much, but yeah, I'm getting better. Yeah, but yeah, cheers.